Hello, everyone. This is Kyle Goodman, the pastor of Alamance Presbyterian Church in Greensboro, North Carolina, coming to you on this Friday, another day of stay-at-home order during the coronavirus pandemic. I have something I want to share with you today, something that I read a few weeks ago, even before the most extreme of our stay-at-home orders were issued. But it's a piece that is 100 years old. It doesn't come from our historical room at the church, but it was shared by a friend of mine, a new friend of mine, whose ancestors were involved in our scout troop. And so this is a letter to the scouts. I'm going to try to put it up on my screen to share with you. This is a letter to the scouts dated 1920, and I think it speaks powerfully to the circumstances that we are facing today. So I'm just going to read it with you all. Scouts, attention. The war is over, but our work is not. For the flu is on, and Good Turn Week is here. Scouts at ease. I want to have a personal word with you about the situation. The schools are closed. Why? To prevent the scattering of the flu. I wonder, friends, if that was the Spanish flu. That's a few years after when that outbreak was at its worst, but it's possible that it's related to that event. I'm not sure. But the schools are closed to prevent the scattering of the flu. Therefore, this is not an extra holiday, and we Scouts know it is simply an opportunity to take time to improve our scouting and do many good turns. So, what are we going to do about it? First, by authority of the Activities Committee, I am calling off all regular scouting meetings this Friday night, February 6, 1920. Second, what about our Scout Sunday? If the churches hold services Sunday, of course we will be there with our good turn knots for those who will do a good turn daily for the week. And Sunday night, every scout that can will attend church and at the proper time stand and repeat the scout oath. If the churches are closed, wherever you are at 8:15 p.m., stand, make the scout sign, repeat the scout oath, and then get back on your job of being what you have just said you would be, a good scout. Remember that about 400,000 other boys are doing the same. Don't break the chain. Third, there's hardly need for me to tell you, but a scout must first keep himself fit. A scout will keep his feet dry, keep his bowels open, and only eat proper food at proper time. I love that part. Now, help other people at all times. 1, in your own home. 2, in your own neighborhood. A scout will not come into contact with flu patients. A scout is an outside worker. See, friends, they knew about social distancing 100 years ago. Fourth, if you have time for good turns elsewhere, come to Scout headquarters and report to me or the office secretary. Fifth, on the enclosed good turn blank, keep a careful, neat record of your good turns and turn them in either to your scoutmaster or to the Scout headquarters. And remember, Scouts, this is a fine time to get ahead in scouting. How about a little signaling and first aid? All work and no play never did pay. Scouts, attention. Repeat the Scout law. Scouts dismissed. February 8th, 1920, Greensboro, North Carolina. R.E. Denny, Scout Executive. Friends, I love that so much. I love it because it offers us some context. You know, our narrative about this coronavirus pandemic is that it is unprecedented, that we have never seen anything like it before. And for us, that is absolutely true. Perhaps it's not true for the rest of the world. Disease and the spread of illness is something that we have heard about in the news many times before. It's just something that's never impacted us like this here. And it's something that has impacted us in our history, not just the history of our nation, but even local history here in Greensboro. This piece shares that, I think, in a very powerful way. And so, yes, it's unprecedented, but it's also comforting to me to know that it's something that we have weathered before, something even our church community has weathered before. And then I love what it has to say. Its words about doing good turns are just as relevant today, 100 years later, as they were in 1920. The Scouts, of course, are called upon to do good turns daily. It's a part of the fabric of who they are. It's the liturgy and the command that they abide. And those of us who practice the Christian faith have something similar written into our vocational DNA. The call, the great commandment of Jesus to love God and love neighbor. And that's very much what this old letter is calling us to do. Even in the time of pandemic, we are to stop, even if we can't come together at church, and remember who we are, remember what we have been called to do, who we have been made to be, and follow that calling to love God, to love neighbor, to do a good turn daily. Friends, this is an opportunity for us to either show the best of who we are or the absolute worst. And whether it's this or some of the other work that we're doing to share and inspire you, I hope that you are hearing the call right now to hold on tight to your faith and to live into it deeply. Even if we can't come to church, the church has left the building. We are called to go out and be the church in the world. And we do that by good turns. We do that by loving God and loving neighbor. And that will never be canceled. My prayers are with you, friends. Be well, be safe. And as a friend of mine says, be creative during this time. Thank you so much.